Ooh, excuse me. I just woke up like 15 minutes ago, and I wanted to get this video done before I went to work. So let's pull up the tweet here. The tweet in the video that I'm referring to is the tweet where I tweeted that I was making a video, which is this video that you're watching, touching on a couple topics such as excuse the voice crack. Sorry. Just woke up. There's like I said. It's talking about life, school, work, and competing, of course. So let's start with the first one, life. Um, for those of you guys that have been following me for a good bit now, you know that I've moved out of my parents' house and I've moved in to a house with some friends of mine, and it's been a roller coaster these past couple weeks, especially. I'm coming up on a month of being out on my own. And I apologize if you hear a loud beeping. The fire alarm out in the hallway is dying, and the battery is needing a change. So, anyway, as I was saying, it's almost been a month since I've been out. In that time, a lot has happened, and a lot of good things, of course. And then there's always some negatives about whatever you do. Whenever you make a change, because change is inevitable in life. No matter how hard you try to stick to the same old routine. Um, there's eventually going to be a change in your life, and that was my change that eventually was inevitable. I think I speak for the majority of everyone, that's a teenager, that obviously you don't want to, be in your parents' house for the rest of your life, and I didn't want to be some 20-year-old kid, um, playing video games, and living in his parents' house, if I could do it on my own. And I have been able to do everything on my own up to this point, knock on wood that I continue to be able to support myself. And my dog, I have a dog, of course, as everybody knows, so I support myself and my dog. And then this competing habit, with going out to events, flying out, and everything. It's not easy, man. But if you're smart about your money, and you can manage it very well, then you're gonna be fine. Of course, as long as you have a job, of course, that supports what you do, and you make good money doing it. And I do for the most part. There's times where I question some choices at work that not just myself, but that are made. But I have been coming with this. We're coming up on a crossroads, as you could say. As you guys have seen, in other organizations, they talk about their crossroads that they have. We're coming up on a crossroads with UGX, and that's at the end of the year. Our lease is up, and that is up to us if we re-sign that lease to stay open another year. There's been talks going back and forth about what we want to do. This kind of ties into the work thing too. Um, there's been talks about, we want to re-sign the lease. There have been talks, that we don't re-sign the lease, but we still host events. Kind of like what MES does and NJ Rod and, ETG doesn't do it, but, just to name those two, they host it at conference rooms in hotels. And we directly would profit from that because we wouldn't have to pay for electricity, we wouldn't be paying for internet, we wouldn't be paying rent to keep the lights on and everything in the building. We would just be paying the day-to-day fee to have that conference room for us. And I see that as a win, as an absolute win. Like what Hulk's been saying. I see this as an absolute. That's how I see it. I see it as an absolute win because we're going to profit directly from that. We're not going to have to dish out so much extra money and it continued to be a bad investment, which this is a statistic. Most small businesses don't make money back within the first 2 to 3 years of being open to the public, and that is the case with us. So I think that it would be best if we didn't re-sign the lease and we just held events every other month, at the end of the month, in middle of the month, however we do it, that's going to work with everybody else. Because, of course, if we close the doors and we don't do anything with the store, um, we're going to have all this equipment and everything, and then we're all going to have to get our own jobs again. And, I don't have a problem getting another job. I can't speak for the other people, such as Seth or Riley or Kenny or Addy. I can't speak for them. But let's go back to the life topic here. Let's try to stay on track here. Would I change my decision about moving in? There's cons to it and then there's pros to it. The pros to being out on my own, is, of course, you come home and it's just you. You don't have to do any, extra chores around the house, which, like, I didn't mind doing chores around my house, of course, when I live with my parents. It's whatever. It's part of being a kid. And, I'm, of course, I'm not a kid in my eyes, but to my parents, of course, I'm always going to be their kid. I enjoy the freedom, I can be as loud as I want, when I want. I can practically do whatever I want for the most part, as long as it doesn't interfere with my other roommates and they don't think that it's a problem. For the majority part, I run everything by my roommates when I'm doing something. If, like, I'm gonna stream, I'm gonna tell my roommates, hey, I'm gonna stream. So, if you guys hear me being loud, that's why I'm not gonna be too obsessively loud like some other people in the other room over tend to be at times. He tends to get pretty loud. Which kind of gets annoying, but he knows, and he tones it down a bit. But it's whatever, you know. It's what happens. You don't really know everybody until, well, you don't really ever know anyone. But you don't know anything about these people till you move in and everything with them, and you get adjusted to living with them. And it's been rough because there have been times where I regret my choice of moving in. Um, just personal problems that have come up that I don't want to talk about. Like I said, this is supposed to be like a heart-to-heart conversation, but there's some things that, like, I don't want to just talk about on camera that is kind of involves in other people's personal life, and I'm not one to spill out other people's business. That's just not my cup of tea. I don't like it when other people do it about other people that I don't know anything about, or something like that. You know, I just think that that's kind of wrong. And then even if that person says that's okay, that's still kind of like messed up. That people are just freely telling everybody their business. Um, but life has kind of been, interesting lately and everything. With the whole AGN thing. We're partnering with AGN to do a Modern Warfare LAN event in November the 23rd through the 24th. I've been extremely stressed about that and everything, getting that set up. Big shout out to Gage if he's watching this. Gage, you've been super helpful, man. All of AGN as well. They've really been helping us. Gage is the owner of AGN. He has been super helpful and supportive, answering any questions or problems that we may come across while we're doing all this processing and planning. And the whole remodel process is going to be a stressful thing too. My anxiety is going to be going through the roof. I'm 5'5". I'm already a small man. And my whole body is just going to be cloaked in stress and anxiety. And I am not looking forward to the remodel, but I am looking forward to the AGN event in November. I'm going to be playing in that event. To my knowledge, we're playing in that event. Unless something changed and we decide we want to play at another event, we'll go play somewhere else. So that's been, a little bit, stressing me out a bit, just about all that. School, as a matter of fact, too, has been kind of stressing me out. I've slipped up a little bit, and that's not going to happen anymore, especially with the off season. I still got a whole month and everything. I'm going to have to be grinding out classes and everything while still competing. I did it last year. I'm going to do it again. I'm switching my, I'm going to switch my uh, major at the end of this year, going into next year, from information systems to probably business management. I just think that I enjoy doing business a lot more now than I do IT. I don't know, kind of doing IT the last couple of years has been, not so fun, and it's certainly kind of like started to take its toll on me that it's boring and it's not fun. But I'm seeing what my dog's doing. She was laying over here under my desk for a second. Now she's being hella annoying for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, um, but it's just there's been so much um going on, up here, and it's not affecting how I work or anything, not affecting how I process things. It's just been affecting a little bit of everybody else around me. I've been a lot harder on some people. Seth can account to this, because he started to slip up, and this is the crunch time, especially with this event coming up. Like, we can't get lazy. We can't slip up, and he's been slipping up and slacking a bit, and so is Riley. I get on them about it. And, you know, I feel like I'm pulling my weight and I'm trying to do my thing, and I feel like I'm having to pull everybody else's. Kenny and Addie help out where they can. They're not there 24/7. Kenny will be, moving forward, he'll be here a lot more. And Addie, steps in where he can, when he's not working. He's got his own life going on. Yeah, they're doing that with them. I re-signed with Valkyrie again. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys would have saw that. The contract goes all the way till next year. It's myself, G-Spin, Jit Lee, Phoenix, and Denies. We're gonna be looking forward to playing this year. We've talked about teaming for about a month now, and we kind of just like pulled the trigger on it and said, what's the worst that could happen, besides it being a bad investment for Valkyrie. Zach has been super dope also with helping out wherever we need anything. These guys weren't too familiar with contracts, so he was helping them out and doing that. I'm filming a podcast episode with Zach on Thursday night. Filming a podcast episode with Zach, just talking about everything, from COD to business, and Zach is super smart about his thing. Big shout out to him. Zach, if you're watching the video, shout out to you, dog. Shout out to everybody that's been, telling me I've been doing a great job and everything, even though I don't see it, everybody else does. When you're doing something great, you know that you're doing something great, but like you're not fully taking account as to what's happening. And like when we got the AGN thing, everybody was like, "Hey man, good job on getting that deal for us and everything. Great work." And it's like, "Yeah, man, no problem, no biggie." And like everybody's like, "Yeah, bro, like that's awesome, that's great." Sorry, I got something in my eye, but everybody's like, "Yeah, man, that's great and everything, that's all." But it's like, you don't really see the whole picture of it, because you're not an outsider, you're the insider now. I'm just gonna take my glasses off. Screw it, I don't care. You're the insider. You're not on the outside. You gotta step out and think outside the box, and you gotta step out and look at everything from the bigger picture. Because if you're not seeing that bigger picture, then you're gonna miss it and you're gonna screw up somewhere. And that's my one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to screw up this event because this could be so big for the brand. Like this has, and it's not about the money. Like I really don't care about the money. What I want is just the exposure to get the brand exposed. By the brand I mean UGX. I want UGX to just be able to advance and branch out, to all across the United States, to where people know that they have a local in the Midwest that they could go attend to, since the stuff happened with Midwest Arena in Austin, Rush, whatever you know him by, since that happened, there's not a like consistent local that people can go to. MES in Detroit hasn't hosted an event since April, and they were talking about doing one final Black Ops 4 event, and they haven't. We're a month away from the game, and I don't think people are going to go to that event if they were to do something. Like, if they were to announce an event right now, as I'm making this video today, that they were going to do one last final event, I don't think it would sell very well. Just because so many people now are already done with Black Ops 4, and they're focused on Modern Warfare and going into that title, that they're not going to put in that time and effort to scrim and get ready for that event, because you have a month now. You have a little bit over a month to prepare for that game, but it's like people aren't going to want to play Black Ops 4 anymore. EGL got canceled because of Toronto and all that and the franchising. I'm going to make another video talking about franchises and all that stuff, and where I think that the AM community is from. Either that, or I'm just gonna upload the podcast episode with Zach, because like I said, we're talking about a little bit about everything. I apologize again for the lengthiness of this video. It's pretty long, but like I said, this is a video I'm just sitting down and spilling everything that's in my head. Another thing too is I know there's going to be players watching. Sorry, I'm checking my phone. Thought I had a text. Of course I don't have text. Not cool. I know there's gonna be like amateur players and everything watching this event, or not watching this event, watching this video. If this is, your first year competing, or your first year where you're getting super serious into it, or you just been competing forever, make sure you set yourself up for success. And you got to make sure too that you guys aren't playing with any, fishy orgs, like, if there are orgs out there that are like refusing to do something for you, if it's something simple, like, I don't know, if like they refuse to like make a I'm not saying like this is happening to me or like this is happening to anybody, I'm just like spilling out examples. Like if they refuse to do a graphic for you, they don't want to make a simple banner for you, it just has your name on it and the org that you play for, and then that you're a player for them. If they refuse to do something like that for you, or something simple as like announcing you guys, there's like a whole banner and everything, like Valkyrie did it for us. They made a whole banner and everything, and they had all of our AVIs and our names and everything, and then it said, Valkyrie Call of Duty 2019, 2020. It's the simple things, man, that players are like, oh, okay, that's great. But then you get into the bigger things like contracts, and funding and stuff like that. And if orgs are being fishy about that, man, like if orgs don't want to sign contracts, but they still expect a cut of your winnings, like you got to dip out of that. You don't want to get tied up in something like that, because people are going to think that you owe them money, because when you're not tied to a contract, like you don't have to do anything they say. You can just be playing under this this brand, and if the owners come to you and they give you guys $3,000, for the event, and you guys win $10,000, you don't have to pay them back anything because you're not under contract. Legally, you don't have to, and that's the beauty about a contract, man. There's owners, that think that contracts are like the devil, I guess. They refuse to sign them. I don't know what the reason that would be for. My thing would be, don't promise anything, if you can't keep it. Don't say you're gonna do all this stuff and then, not sign a contract because you're afraid, something's gonna happen. If you don't deliver on those promises, don't say you're gonna do something then if you're not. It's just, one of those things, man. This is the day and age, where orgs are fishy and they're sketchy as hell. And I've known several players that I've been friends with and I've teamed with that have, had run-ins with fishy orgs and stuff like that. And by the time you recognize, that there's a problem, it's too late, man. There's nothing you can really do about it. You just gotta hope that they eventually just get fed up with it, and and they kick you out the door. You finally just come to your senses and you get out of there. Like you don't want any problems with it. I'm telling you. It's not a fun thing to deal with, have to go through some drama like that, You're here for one thing, as a player, you're here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to play a video game at the end of the day, bro. Like, you don't want the extra, like, high school drama that comes with it, bro. Like, you could care less for that. Like, I could care less for that. Like, I told Valkyrie and, the guys the other night when we sat down and we signed our contracts, because we have contracts, and Valkyrie is, an official brand. Valkyrie has an LLC. So they're a trustworthy org. Um, they they asked, if there was anything that we needed, tell them. And I told the players and I told the owners that were there with us. There was 2 owners and then the players were there. I was like, I'm here for one thing only, and I'm here to play. Don't bring any drama. Don't cause drama. Don't create drama, because I don't want it. I was like, I'm here to play. I'm here to get better. That's what I want. I want no drama this year, bro. Like, I want none of that BS, because I went through BS last year at the start, the middle, and the end of the game, and I don't want that. I'm here to play. I'm here to get better. I want to stick with this roster. I don't want to make any roster changes. I just want to fly through this game and have some fun, man. These guys are absolute comical guys, or comical guys. However, whatever you want to say it. They're hilarious, and I look forward to getting to play with these guys. Uh, we've already made a lot of good memories together already. We've only been together a couple weeks. Not even. And we're just dummy hype to play. I don't really have an agenda as to what videos are coming up within the channel. There are the vlogs and everything that keep coming up. I'm working on I'm gonna have a pretty decent sized vlog and everything. It's covering a couple weeks, and it's gonna cover the build out and stuff. I want you guys to be able to see that, just the transition of everything and how that looks different now when it plays into the role of the event. It's gonna be it's gonna be a good vlog. It's gonna be a good video. As far as a Modern Warfare beta highlights video, I'll probably get some more clips this second weekend that's coming up for the beta. I'm off Thursday and Friday. Thursday, like I said, I'm filming the podcast with Zach, so I'll probably get some clips up until that night when I play with him, and then Friday, I'm good until the evening. I'm gonna go watch my brother's high school football game. I'll probably get some more clips and then put a video together for you guys, and then try to get that out Sunday, one of those days. But I gotta probably get my schoolwork done either tonight or tomorrow, so that way I can do all that stuff, with no stress, nothing like that. No need to add on any extra stress to myself. I've had a couple people that have helped me out with dealing with that stress. Like I already mentioned, Addison, Riley, Kenny, Seth, Zach, teammates, Alexa. Big shout out to Alexa. She has been super supportive, and has just been talking with me and helping me get through, this rough patch the past couple months and everything, with the way that I got benched and everything, which was kind of dumb, and I still don't agree with, and I still have a different opinion than probably everybody else on that team did. I don't care. It is what it is, They're all having a fallout now, and I was painted the bad guy, and now they all hate each other. Well, they all hate one kid, but that's another story for another time. That's not like I said, that's drama that I don't need to involve everybody else in, It's not my place to do anything, even though they're putting it out on Twitter. Yep. Stuff like that, man, and players also, you guys got to do what you guys got to do. This kind of ties into a couple other things, like I said this last year in my video after MES, about putting yourself in the best possible position to win. You got to do what's best for you, man. If you think you're going to get a better opportunity and you'll go in this direction than you are this, you need to go this direction then. You got to trust your gut, because 9 times out of 10, your gut is always right about whatever it is. You need to go and you need to do that, because if you don't, it could end up costing you and biting you. And it's going to come back and it's going to haunt you. And I'm telling you, I've seen it time and time again. And I've started to trust my gut a lot more because, like I said, you trust your gut and you go with it. Go with your instinct, man, because 9 times out of 10, it ends up being the correct way. There's just so much that I regret because I didn't listen to my gut, because I kept trying to tell myself, I'm like, nah, man, I'm not going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore the red flags, and all this other BS and drama, and I'm gonna go with this direction, and then it ends up, not working out, you know. And I was like, bro, I should have went this way and done this with these guys, and da 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 da. And it's like, you know what? You live and you learn. You live and learn. But you don't forget. But you don't hang that over your head or other people's head. You live and you learn, and forgive and forget. But my intention this year is to do what is absolutely best for me. And at the end of the day, that's all that you need to do is do what's best for you. Put yourself in the best possible position, because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's a business. You got to do what's best for that business, and that business is you. You got to do what's best for you. If you set yourself in the best possible position to win, more than likely you're going to win. If you're teaming with players that, have the same amount of passion as you, and you're they may have, better gun skill and everything, and, getting to play with them, is going to sharpen your gun skill because you're playing players that are better. If you're playing people that are better than you, you're going to learn and you're going to win, The way I see it, you could scrim, pro teams, and you could not win a single map. You could lose all those maps, but realistically, you're not losing anything. You're winning still because you're learning, That's how I've been looking at it, when like I stream scrims and everything, and I'll get DMs from people like, bro, you guys you didn't even win a map in scrims tonight. It's like, we did win though. Like, we won knowledge, because we're gonna go back and we're gonna look at that, and it's all about being smart about it. If you're not under the impression that you can gain anything from scrims, like, you shouldn't be playing. Like, what is wrong with you if you don't think you're gaining anything from scrimming? But I don't know. There's not really much else for me to say. I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna be going Ghost in a couple months, or not a couple months. Next month when the game drops, probably go Ghost for like the first like month and a half of the game. And not post anything, not tweet anything, not do anything of that sort. Just so that way I can focus on playing and focus on the event. Like I said, we're gonna go to HEM. We really want to play well. Obviously, we want to place well, get in the money, and start off on the right foot. Yeah, it started this year because last year most of us didn't start off on the right foot because we didn't have the right teammates. It's what it is, man. Like I said, live and learn. Don't make the same mistake twice. So yeah, that's I think that's gonna do it for me. I don't think I have anything else to say. Appreciate all the tweets and comments lately, and all the views and likes you guys have been leaving me. That's it's been pretty it's a pretty good thing to look back on, when I'm going through all this all the problems and everything, that I bring onto myself at times, but like I said, I've got people that are always helping me out, Alexa lately especially, has been talking to me for the majority of the day, helping me out there. Like I said, appreciate you. You're awesome. I think that's it, guys. Thank you guys for coming in and watching this video. Like I said, I really didn't intend for this video to be as long as it was, but thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys more than you know. And this will probably not be the last time you guys see a video like this from me. We've done it before. We'll probably do it again. So, anyways, guys, thank you guys so much. I'll see you.